Good morning, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated, Journato, morning headlines on January 13, 2024. Malaria drug Trump touted as COVID cure increased chance of death, study. The Guardian, hydroxychloroquine, COVID cure linked to 17,000 deaths. France's new PM tilts his cabinet to the right. BBC, Macron looks to Sarkozy connection to head off far-right in France. The Guardian, Macron tilts French cabinet to right in reshuffle, France 24 English. France 24 English, Gabriel Attal and the unstoppable rise of Klaus Schwab's global leaders. The Spectator, don't be afraid of me, Sarkozy's star minister back in spotlight. Donald Trump asked to pay NY Times nearly $400,000 in legal costs. BBC, Donald Trump must pay nearly $400,000 to the New York Times. The Independent, NY judge orders Trump to pay legal fees to NY Times after failed lawsuit over disclosure of his tax documents. CNN, Trump must pay New York Times, 3 reporters nearly $400,000 US in legal fees. Myanmar junta and armed rebels agree ceasefire. The Guardian, China brokers ceasefire between Myanmar military and rebel alliance. Financial Times, Myanmar's military, ethnic armed groups agree to China-mediated truce. Al Jazeera English, Myanmar military and rebel alliance agreed China-brokered ceasefire. The Independent, China negotiates "immediate ceasefire" between Myanmar army, armed alliance. Tough choices for Israel in US's Middle East vision. BBC, Blinken says path to a Palestinian state can stabilize region, isolate Iran. Al Jazeera English, Blinken sees a path to Gaza peace, reconstruction and regional security after his Mideast tour. The Independent, opinion, the path to peace in the Mideast could be paved by fuzzy language. The Washington Post, State Department, Spock's, Arab nations, ready to work with US on Gaza, but only if Israel commits. Taiwan election, voters line up as China ramps up warnings. BBC, Taiwan polls open in election that could shake the world. Sky News, Taiwan votes in pivotal election as China looms large. Financial Times, we should pay attention to the Taiwan elections, the Russians certainly are. The Independent, Taiwan election is just the first big nail-biting poll of a volatile 2024. Ecuador violence affects whole world, President tells BBC. BBC, how drug gangs brought bloodshed to Ecuador. Guardian News, Ecuador City tries to return to normal after gang horror. BBC, what's happening in Ecuador? Gang violence, Adolfo Macias, state of emergency. Bloomberg, stop snorting cocaine if you want to help Ecuador. US military uses Tomahawk land missiles to attack rebel radar site in Yemen, latest. The Independent, strikes on Houthi targets in Yemen show war in Gaza has already spread. BBC, Yemen's Houthis launch new missile attack in Red Sea following airstrikes, BBC News. BBC News, military intervention in Yemen is justifiable, for now. The Independent, the West must confront the Iran. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.